everybody! It's CamCal Films here. Third video. Wowzers! I got a question in the last video that asked how I do my hot glue techniques. The answer is actually pretty simple. It took me a long time to figure out how to do hot glue on customs. I would give you an example, but as you can see, this one doesn't have any hot glue on it. I will show you how to do hot glue techniques. It's actually pretty simple. I think I already said that. I'm just gonna get on with the video. Okay, so what you will need is either a notebook or like a folder of some sort. Anything that has like this plastic, it doesn't have to be red either. Anything that has this sort of like, you know, the plastic that when you scrape on it sounds kind of weird. Anything that has that sort of plastic, it'll work. Also, do not use a notebook that you like are really proud of or really need, because it could harm the notebook if you mess up. So just use one that you don't need or buy an extra. And next, of course, you'll need a hot glue gun. Be careful. I would not suggest, the camera. I would not suggest this for people who are under, I'd say under 10. 10 was the age I started using a glue gun. So if you're under 10, ask a parent for help, or just don't do it, but I would recommend asking a parent for help. These things can be quite dangerous. After plugging the glue gun in, I would say leave it for about 4 or 5 minutes. Probably not longer, or it could burn the plastic through. So take the glue gun and just squirt out kind of like, sort of, it's hard to explain. See what I'm doing with my wrist, how I go like this and kind of like strike it onto the glue really quick? That adds points to whatever I'm doing. So just make basic shapes. Don't mind if you mess up. There's a way to fix that. There. So I just made, I don't know if you can see them. I just made a shape here and a shape there. See those? And now you just gotta wait. Wait until they're fully dried. Fully dried. And you can kind of tell that they're dried when they have a cloudy appearance. Like they're not quite as clear. So I will get back to you guys when they're dry. Another thing I forgot to mention is you guys may be wondering how I make my siren tails. Like you saw in the last video. I had a siren, like the main part of the tail, and the answer to that is I just take a wire, doesn't matter the thickness, I put it in the shape that I want the tail, and I slowly build up the hot glue, and I'll probably do a video about that in the future. But basically you just take a wire and you cover it in hot glue till it's smooth. You can also take the side of the hot glue gun, like the metal. No, my girl, don't worry, she'll be fine. You see the side there? You take that, and then you push it up against the hot glue and you smooth it. Yeah, if your glue gun has a side like this. If it doesn't, then that's okay. You can just use like scissors, but that's how I smooth my hot glue. Okay, so my hot glue is dry now. There are 2 ways to go about this. You can either take an X-Acto knife. Be very careful if you do that. If you're, actually I'd say you have to be at least like 13 to do that. Either you take an X-Acto knife or some sort of blade, not a kitchen knife, or you manhandle it. Be very gentle, but I'm not patient, and this is a tutorial. I'm not gonna actually use these for customs. See how I'm gently pulling it off, and it's kind of and it'll start turning sort of a white color compared to the red. See, like that. So that is one fin. And another fin. So the next step is you take your hot glue gun and you gently put some more hot glue on the back of each little spine to create 3-dimensional effect. Or you can also swap these next 2 steps. That's what I usually do, but I forgot, so always wait for it to dry, each little fin thing, otherwise you could end up ruining it. And they're actually pretty easy to make. They seem hard, right? They seem hard, but they're not that hard. So here they are right now. See how they kind of have a 3D effect to them? And they are paintable. All hot glue is paintable. And you can add little webbings in between using plastic, those thin sheets of plastic. But if you practice enough, you will probably get better than me, honestly. Oh, and also, always make sure you unplug or shut off your glue gun. It could start a fire if it gets hot enough. Yeah, so just be very careful with these glue guns. Last step is simple. You take a pair of scissors, like these, and you cut. You cut into whatever shape you wish these little dudes to be. I want mine to be sharp, but you could also make them, you know, not sharp. Dull, that's the word. Like that. And here's your finished product. There are little strings that you have to pluck off every now and then. Trust me, when you start hot glue, there's gonna be like little tiny glue strings everywhere, but I think it's worth it, and I think these turned out pretty nice. Hot glue is kind of hard to paint on, but as long as you wait for each coat to dry patiently, then you should be good. These are my finished products. I did one big and one small, and yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, hope it was helpful. Ask questions in the comments if you had any issues or if you need any help with other aspects of hot glue, and that was my video. Hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll see you later. Bye!